I like your Clark Kent look. Why is my video not on? Let's see.
Clark Kent.
Oh, it's got the slick. I figured, the little, like when he's Clark Kent Superman. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
'Cause I just got out of the shower.
I like your Clark Kent look. Why is my video not on? Oh, okay. Standard practice, sending you the live feed. Still don't know what's up with my video. It's weird.
Hang
Uh,
on, I can plug in my overlays and name tags. I hate how I have to do this every time.
yeah, it seems like an obvious feature. You know what? I sent Zoom a support ticket about like I don't have the edit meeting capabilities, so I'll send them a support ticket feature request. Let's see. Maybe in a year they'll address it. Okay, still trying the camera thing. Uh, no. All right. All right. Thought today we could just do an easier one, go through, what's a typical question people have, right? Remember the Rad Tech guy? He's like, "Oh, what do you guys listen to?" The one that was he was into Sean Adams or what's it called? The Dilbert cartoon guy.
The Dilbert cartoon guy.
Scott Adams. That's who the Rad Tech. Okay, first of all, the Rad Tech guy. He's been on two-way. He was on our post meeting one time.
I was thinking we talk about the aliens. We talked about religion last night.
Of course, we're going to talk about the aliens, Raleigh. Of course, we're going to talk about the aliens. That's a given. That's a given, my friend. Okay, I'm doing this. Yeah,
I
it's
was gonna share some videos on the moon landing, but I didn't have a chance to look at them this morning to find them.
all right. All right. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna bring these up. So for the viewers out there, I guess I mean there's different ways that we're approaching the alien versus God debate. But my thing is, I guess what just to be explicit, right? If aliens, I know Raleigh's saying, well, they could just be neutral, or we could say it that way, but I'm saying if we follow the Ten Commandments, then we should be worshiping we should be digging into the aliens then, right? If they're superior, they must be. Although, what have they given us? I'm still waiting, aside from a 2 kilometer deep city under Egypt, theoretically, right? What lesson, wisdom, anything? I'm doing these are my Hakeem Jeffries.
I think that they gave us all these tools of civilization, like that
We
steel.
had this is my Hakeem Jeffries impersonate. We have an orange man in office who people say is Hitler. Then we have these aliens over here. I want to know from the aliens what their plan is to deal with Hitler and who the aliens believe is their leader, because clearly Trump is not a leader. How was that Hakeem Jeffries impersonation? Any?
Beautiful. It was spot on. I couldn't have done it better myself.
Dude, I Googled 10 commandments and all I got was this long form page. I just want I should do the Grok. Grok 10 commandments. Can you search that? Does that work? If I Grok, or do I have to go to
Can
Grok?
you make me the host for a second? Because I'm
Oh,
having trouble
right.
getting this to work.
All right. I trust you, Raleigh.
You shouldn't. Okay.
Famous last words. I trust you with my laptop. I know you'll do whatever is
Did you
necessary.
did you pass it off to me?
I did.
Did I accept?
I think the fact that you accepted is why your stuff got reset, which is funny as hell. You must have, because I can't make you host now. Does it say it in the chat?
Oh yeah, it's changed. Okay. Oh, I don't want music.
Okay, so if I open the overlays app, okay, name, oh, allow, whatever. Nice. Title or description. crazy sand ninja that is actually Aryan. Oh, I thought sand ninjas were different than Aryans. Brand color. I've always loved 6FAFFC. That's always been my favorite brand. Brand logo. Huh.
I'm always like 6FA.
You gotta love that, dude. Okay. Let's see how this looks. If I put this up, where does this show up?
Yeah, you have. So apparently on mine, the only way that it works is if I am if I'm the host. Otherwise, it doesn't change it on my end. Are you noticing it changing for you?
No. I'm not host, and I did all these changes right now.
I can see the changes you're making. It just didn't work for me.
Maybe, well, I got a bunch of prompts to, okay, well, I mean, Bunky Zoom. I'm gonna go back to I didn't know it was gonna change the background. Okay, just random for the YouTubers out there, right, that don't know anything from anything and think that Michael Jordan signed the Declaration of Independence. Here's one for Dane Turrentine. All the perplexities, confusion. I got to turn off my video for a second. Oh, I can't. Oh, wait, how do I just hide? Allow. I have to click allow on overlays again. What? What? What's going? Too many things. Okay. How can I just hide myself? Show avatar. Can I do this?
How are you able to do all that? It hasn't worked for me since the first day.
I show avatar, but then hide. It's like I can't just show my background. That's so weird. Okay, well, let me see if I can still read it. All the perplexities, confusion, and distress in America arise not from the defects in the Constitution or Confederation, not from want of honor or virtue, so much as from downright ignorance of the nature of coin, credit, and circulation. Follow Fiketty Research, foundation of the classical left, baby. Okay, you said the aliens did what technology were you crediting to them?
That iron smelting stuff.
Wait, you can't just claim it. I mean, where's the alien etching or like
First of all, I'm sure we could find alien etchings. But
okay,
you're saying
are you saying
people
five?
created it. You're saying people created it. I think that. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, you have to pay for this.
You're not saying aliens created fire.
Yes, I am.
Oh, well, I mean, okay, what was your oldest? Julius Caesar, you acknowledge him, I mean, as a like probably he was real, right? Like a real.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not so much that I question. I say that the elites have been running the show for a long time, and the reason they've been running the show is because they have the aliens.
They weren't running it prior to World War One.
Yes, going back to antiquity, Mesopotamia, and there were I believe there were civilizations before then.
Okay, but for the YouTube audience, we still don't have a single like. I need like.
But there's been, but you know, focusing on the present day, there has been numerous sightings. The Tic Tac sighting. I was just now I was watching a documentary my brother sent me about this guy that worked way high up in what is called the UAP agency or the something UAP. And he's now resigned and he's filing a whistleblower lawsuit because they fired him for disclosing that the government has known about these sightings for a long time. It had, who is requesting you to allow multiple presenters. Yeah, sure.
Okay, only now. We never do this in the
No,
morning. I added the
well, unless it's you. I don't mind if it's you or Professor Kenny, but or Michael.
well, no, because I think what you just did is enable sharing for everyone, not just hosts.
Really?
I mean,
Because I didn't read all of it, but it said Art Dizzle is requesting
yeah, that's correct. But once you clicked allow, I
and
think
it
it,
allows it to everyone.
which is another Zoom
And you're right, we don't want to do that.
bad design. As a stopgap, I added the 866 free left vanity number to the YouTube channel description. I don't know if you saw that. So I mean, worst case, the haters out there or TDSers can text and say, "Let me into the meeting," and then I'll be like, "Who is you? Do you know who hosts the morning meeting?" And they'll say Mark Halperin, and I'll say, "Who else?" And they'll say Dan Turnstein.
When if I'm able to do it and I open it up tomorrow, I'm gonna say like I'm gonna do it like a true podcast. I'm gonna say, welcome to the morning post show. If you like our show, please like the channel and subscribe. And like I'm gonna start out saying that, and I'm gonna say, if you wish to participate in the conversation, go to the Zoom link in the channel.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay, you're talking about in the morning meeting with Mark in the chat, how you're gonna what your chat.
Not with Mark. I'm gonna do it with our show.
No, but we're in our show already. Oh, you mean when you're talking to people in YouTube?
Yes, because this is a different show. This is the same channel, but a different show. This is the late show. There's the post morning show where all the other guys join us. I'm
The
trying to
PMS, the PMS, the PMS, the post morning show.
And when I start that, and I think you should do the same thing, I think we should say, just like Mark does, if you like the channel, every podcaster does this, that every YouTuber does this that I've noticed. Thank you for joining us. If you like the channel, please, if you enjoy the channel, please like it. And please subscribe.
Okay. If you like, please. Okay, I was brain farting there. You mean please subscribe to our YouTube channel?
Yes,
right.
And like the video.
And like the video. Yeah. I was thinking
they all say that. Every one of them says that. I'm sure half the ones you watch say that.
No, that standard intro, which I was about to type up in a Google Doc. But see this, okay, now the fact that we're not in immersive, this is what throws me off. It says I'm sharing my screen, but it doesn't show the.
I know, I hate that too, but I can see it.
I know. I mean, I guess I can look on YouTube.
I hate that too. That's so annoying. But that does that to me, even with the immersive view. I still can't see it on the Zoom call.
Really? That's interesting. Okay, so now that we're shared. Oh, but look at this. I'm on Zoom. It's only showing, it's not doing both of us then. So view, if we do gallery. Once I shared screen, see, it's only switching. Let me see. I switch. No. When you take a puff, it switches to you or whatever, right? The audio. And then
you notice that your name disappeared.
That's because that's messing with the video too. So, okay, I'm going to go to immersive. I know you don't, you're not such a fan, but you have to stop
God,
sharing.
I don't see it's too much. It's like, I just imagine somebody watching it for the first time. They're like, what's this? This looks so much more professional to me.
Okay, that's that professional class, but I think the newbie, like my mom would demand.
That's true. Like, a lot of YouTubers aren't looking for professionalism, but this just looks so much more like your standard YouTube show than that immersive view. I could be wrong, so I'm definitely not going to shut you down. If you want to keep doing it, because I could be wrong. Like the thing about YouTube is experimentation, not following the news. So I'm definitely not shutting you down. I just want to see the two different, like when you're hosting, you'll have the immersive view. When I'm hosting, I'll do this and see what people like. And I remember Cheryl, she's the only third party opinion that we have to this. But I remember Cheryl saying she didn't like the chalkboard.
Stephanie. Stephanie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, no, Cheryl. Yeah, Cheryl was getting sick of the immersive view. I think it was getting a little too because I was switching stuff around. I'm about to reclaim
It also
hosts.
didn't like me when I put the chalkboard up. Remember, you had to send me a text message and go, is the host? All right.
Interesting. I reclaimed. It didn't mess up the titles, but now we're about to go
No,
nuts.
because I just have to do it once, I think, and then it stays.
Okay, well, it's about to go, my friend. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But
Whoa,
she said that she this
that's
is
weird.
weird.
Okay, no, I did the wrong one. I did the wrong. You know how many times that happens to me on
Didn't like
YouTube?
the chalkboard up when we weren't presenting anything.
Right. Have you ever done this on YouTube where you think you're selecting a channel? I guess it happens on Apple TV, and then I click the remote, and then like the thing next to it is what I was selecting, and I'm like, I'm not. Why is this on? Okay, this is the one I
That's
want.
how we get you. That's how we get you to subscribe, YouTube.
That's right. Yeah, 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 exactly. Sneaky. Oh, and then you notice people do this. They try to make their show stand out, so they'll put a border on their thumbnail, and then it's like you don't know if you're selecting them. Because when you select on Apple TV, it has like a red border, right? When you're scrolling, but then people will put a red border on their channel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That is really that's low.
I
That's
just
I don't think we're that desperate yet.
okay.
Give
It's
it 6 months.
okay. Okay, now it's doing the preview. Now I can see that. Okay, so for the alien crowd, I mean, at least just so they know where I'm coming from, right? Like I'm that crazy Saiyan ninja that believes in the Ten Commandments. Yes,
I don't
Lord.
think it's crazy. I don't think anything about it's crazy. It's just um it's not what I believe. I mean, I've never had a spiritual metaphysical connection like that.
Oh, the sighting could have been that.
Um, but I have, well, you've got a point, but what what was God telling me?
God was telling you that one day you're going to share this story, and this Ardizzle 408 is going to use that to connect you to the Lord.
I think God was telling me I was going to be a YouTube star and I was going to have multiple channels, and one of them was going to be about aliens. That's what I think.
All right, all right, all right. All of that, all of that. Okay, because here's another. So I'm giving you the alt-right controversies, right? Like I've been through the alt-right and I came out alive, and I still maintain my brown skin. Who'd have thunk?
Do
Okay.
Jews have commandments? See, this is how little I paid attention in temple.
Wait, did you just ask that? Can you
I
repeat that?
did just ask that, and I will be asking that a lot because I don't really know. I
I didn't hear you. You just asked, do the Jews have 10 commandments, or do
well, I
Hindus?
know they don't call them Ten Commandments, but do they have a version of this? Is what I'm asking.
This is the version. This is your version. There's no other version. This is what the God gave Moses when he what
Oh yeah, okay, so it's all the same thing.
there's no. That's so funny, man. That's so that was
This
like,
tells you how little knowledge I have of theology.
well, this is great. This is why the YouTube audience is gonna love it, because Raleigh, this is what kids can never ask their parents, right? Because they'd either get smacked the F around, or again, why are they gonna talk to their parents about anything but where are the
No, I
cookies?
definitely respect people who can become religious after they've gone through a period of enlightenment and they've explored their options and they came back to it, or they discovered a religion they liked. I find that far more um
Raleigh,
validating than somebody who's just stuck with it their entire lives,
I tried using
never
Android.
once questioned it.
I tried using Android. I checked out the apps on the Play Store. It was no good. So now I'm devoted to Apple.
Great metaphor. I love it. Or analogy.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I mean, what are kids gonna ask their parents besides like, why is the internet off, Dad? How come I can't game, Dad?
Or look at porn.
Hey, please don't ruin that ignorance bubble. Dude, I hope and I pray, because you know what's sad so my son, right? We were on
Oh, I
West
forgot.
Front.
Yeah, you have a son. I can't say that.
Ah, I forgot this ninja in the game for real. I know, right? I'm getting a little warmed up here. I gotta take off my layers, dude. California, man. Freaking, you know how long it took me to figure this out? Synthetics. I learned that in Texas at the end, finally, right? I learned that from Calvin, his song, right? Our Adonis. Yeah. Calvin, his song is the only male that you're allowed to say is handsome if you're a straight man. Okay. All other claims of handsomeness will make you rainbow. That's that's I'm joking. Nico, dude. These guys are so funny, man. I mean, these people I met in Texas, dude, are so hilarious. And Nico's like, "Oh yeah, dude, I was down in Brazil or something." He's like, "The best cocaine ever, man. It's just like Starbucks. It's just every corner there's just a dude." And you just go, "Yeah, yeah." And then you just put the line down. I was Colombia or whatever. He was in Colombia. So anyways.
I wonder if that's true or that's just his opinion or
No. I believe it. He wasn't. I mean, this was a guy that he's not the type to exaggerate. Like in India, just to give you an example, in India, um, flavored tobacco, it's called pan, like their version of chewing tobacco. They wrap it in a betel leaf, and the original like beer joint or Starbucks of India is the pan wala. Like, so if you wanted to know what's going on in the town, the politics, right here, it's like, oh, the taxi driver is going to know, right? Over there in India, it's the pan wala, right? Whoever's, because everyone's hanging around eating pan, spitting it out, right? Turning their gums red or whatever. And everyone's chatting, you're high off the nicotine. So,
it's weird to me that nicotine came from the Americas. It was a Colombian exchange thing. And everybody's got like their hookah lounges and there's the
oh,
whole world does.
hold
And
on.
coffee, oh, I'm getting a call from my mother. Just I'm gonna mute
Both
here.
of us. Okay, both of us. You need help with Zoom?
I'm back. Well, it's toasty in here. Where girl?
Did you leave? Oh my goodness, dude. Oh gosh. Zoom chaos.
Maybe we should wait to go live until we've like gotten ourselves situated.
Well, yeah, but like our moms are unpredictable, right? My mom, so there's a funeral going on, and it's funny because at first it was like, oh, in our house, any event is like big, stress inducing. And then so I put it on the calendar. We went through all this thing because of my mom, right? Where it's like Sunday, funeral, 9 a.m. We have to leave at 8. And then yesterday, my dad's like, oh, it's on Zoom. And then but see, my parents, they're so submissive. Like they don't just assert, right? So my dad's like, oh, it's on Zoom. Should we go? Question mark. And I'm like, see, this is where you have to interpret the will of God, right? Like, I don't know if you've been in this, where your dad says something and it's like, well, does he mean it? Is he trying to be polite? Like you have to infer, right? So
Right.
with my, 2 times 2 is 4, I'm like, because my mom's like, oh, she was like wanting to go. And my dad's like, well, it's on Zoom. And I said, oh, okay. And because he's like, I don't want to go. I have to do my taxes or whatever. I'm like, all right, Papa, you can stay home. Because he also can't walk very far, right? He has difficulty with steps or whatever. Which, by the way, at my cousin's, that whole, when you were like, what happened to you, Raul?
Uh,
At my cousin's, there's one step that's a little high. So this is the George Costanza moment, although it's that's more extreme because like whatever Costanza's parents, right? They never had issues physically, right? I mean, maybe his dad in some funny way, but like for the most part, they could walk in the show, right? My dad is going up the step. He gets 1 foot up, he can't get the other foot. So now he's frozen. I've got my cousin, my aunt, my mom. My mom's like, should we get a wheelchair? You know, I'm like, relax. Anyways, dude, fast forward, right? All's well that ends well. As when we got home, then yesterday I'm looking in the car and I'm like, holy shit, I had bought a cane. There's a cane with a step built in. I had the tool in the trunk. Totally forgot about it. It's kind of like Trump with the tariffs, right? The tool has always been there. Just presidents forgot about it because they don't know shit. Because Obama was a fucking fag out of Pakistan. Sorry, pardon my French. Bush was a yuppie, Texas, whatever the F, alcoholic, right? Bush Sr. was CIA, also, we know that. You know, Reagan was good prior to running for office. He said he's a libertarian, rancher, da-da-da. Then they put a hit on him, right? Assassination attempt, forced him to take Bush as VP. He was never the same after that. You know what's a Mrs. Reagan or whatever? She was doing seances in the White House and shit.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah.
We need to do a deep dive on that.
Yeah. So, and then, you know, I mean, so you can go to the presidents one by one all the way back to Eisenhower, right? And according to Kay Griggs, Eisenhower put the hit on Patton, conspired with the KGB. According to and Lauren Eisenhower does not disclaim what Eisenhower's buddies in his yearbook said, right? To the Swedish Jew, you know, see you in 5 years or whatever. So you got a president, okay, Jewish background, conspiring with the Muslim Brotherhood. I mean, so-called or whatever, right? And so thank God for Trump. You know, he's patent powered. But yeah, about the Zoom calls and the schedule. So, just to update you. So my mom, okay, so I go downstairs, like, okay, I got this. We got this, our Dizzle. We can do this, our Dizzle. Turn on the iPad, open up the Zoom link. The funeral hasn't started yet. And so there's just all these Zoom windows. And I can't, on the iPad, I can't switch the view. So anyways, my mom's like, we should turn down our music. I'm like, Mommy, we're muted. A minute goes by. Can they hear us? I go, we're muted. Anyways, okay, so that was that. Which brings us back to what? The aliens and the 10 Commandments. So, okay, let's just go through this. I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not have strange gods before me. Okay, so just a backstory on the 10 Commandments, right? Moses goes up the mountain. Does that ring a bell?
Not really, but
okay, this is good. So, Book of Genesis, right? Let's correspond that with Book of Melchizedek. Okay, there was the way the story goes is that Shem or the Shiva, they essentially beat Sodom and Gomorrah, or prior to that. We have to, because this is, I mean, this is, I myself haven't had time to chart these things out. So it gets a little heady, okay? Oh, that was my dad just yelling at my mom. No. He I have the axe in my room, so he's not beheading her. Okay, just if anyone could hear the shrieking. So Noah's flood. We have to start there, actually. Because what you were saying about, you know, it's interesting. Michael was like, oh, it's the out of Africa theory. The Kurameo Ahau guy on YouTube, the kind of brown-skinned dude, probably Hispanic native combo mix-up in Florida. His thing is into Africa theory. Yes, the fossil record shows like the oldest human, you know, remains found in Africa. But it's like, who's to know there's not other remains anywhere? The Myron Cook geologist I was pushing, he says, if you considered every year, right, just thick as paper, a sheet of paper, okay? Earth is so old, you'd have a 40-mile stack of papers for every year. Let me say it this way. The highest peak around here, Mount Amanum, it's like about 3,000 feet, I think. 2,000 feet. I biked up it with my son like a few years ago. Pretty cool. The original mountain ranges were like 20,000 feet, 40,000 feet here. Like we've had tens of thousands of feet of erosion. Do you know that Texas, Austin was underwater? Like this is why I'm big into geology, because you can very scientifically see that because I found seashells in South Texas. So I thought that was because of flooding. No, 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 no. It's because half of Texas used to be underwater
Okay.
millions of years ago. Anyways, okay. So that's millions of years ago. We want to be current. 10,000 years ago, we're saying that prior to the flood, there was a vast civilization across the Western Hemisphere, the original Atlantis that Plato talks about, right? That there's an island out there, Atlantis. He's referring to the Western Hemisphere. Okay. Then the flood happens. Noah, the ark, arrives in Egypt area, I guess through the Mediterranean. In theory, then the ark would have sailed from America through the Mediterranean, landed in Egypt. Adam. Adam is the first pharaoh. Do you know Egypt is listed in the Bible? I mean, all these nations are just children, just like I told you about Westland Cattle Company, Westlaco, or Mercedes, right? So, 10 Commandments. Okay, let's try to root it. Noah comes.
The longest I've ever heard explanation for the Ten Commandments.
Well, I mean, we got to pin it somehow. So. Okay, Noah. Then his son is Shem, and Japhet. Okay, and then from Shem we have all these nations. Abraham. So then that must be a few generations. Okay, then Abraham comes. Then Moses. So yeah, the 10 Commandments would be 1000 BC, 1500 BC, 2000 BC, somewhere in that. Okay, I left out. Abraham, his uncle used to make idols. He had an idol shop. So the African documentary we were watching yesterday,
Yeah.
that's how they made the idols. Right? Because the idols are made out of iron, copper, bronze. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So Abraham's uncle had the idol shop. Abraham has the Enlightenment where he goes, I mean, we agree that worshiping an idol would be superstitious and counterproductive, right?
I guess.
I mean, I guess it's for the YouTube audience to decide, but we're talking about self-improvement. We just went through COVID. People suffered a lot, right? So now they're looking for solutions. So is the solution to like set up a statue in the corner of your house? Because this is what a lot of Hindus do, right? Like the idols they worship are Akkadian kings, right? Other avatars, righteous kings, okay, that do the fire worship, which I should just show you the fire worship I'm talking about. Because I told you about the bonfires once, and you're
I
like,
know, but I was wanting to show some stuff.
oh, okay. I've been hogging the screen. All right, I will.
I mean, we've long covered the Ten Commandments.
Okay, all right. You next.
And we also had an hour video. We're at 40 minutes, and we also had like 2 or 3 hours yesterday.
Well, I know with practice and speed and all that stuff. Okay,
Yeah,
while you're sharing, I'm gonna read the 10 Commandments. I didn't read them. Can I just read them and then
yes, you can read them.
Okay, number 1, I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not have the strange gods before me. Oh, okay. But before I read them, for the YouTube audience, Abraham got some sort of enlightenment, realized the idols are worthless. They cannot help or hurt you. Okay. And he started making fun of his uncle's customers. He goes, why are you paying for these things that have no worth? And then he started smashing the idols. You can imagine his uncle was pretty pissed, right? So then he's gone. And the Lord says to him, right? I mean, he gets inspired, go west or whatever, right? And that's Deuteronomy 26:5. My father was a wandering Aramaean. They're referring to Abraham, right? So he wanders, settles down somewhere in Mediterranean, Israel, Palestine at the time or whatever. Okay. Then his son, Joseph, or maybe it's not his son, Jacob. I think Jacob is Israel. So there's Jacob, there's Joseph. He gets sold into slavery by his brothers. Okay. And then Joseph gets rescued because he's somehow the queen is like, oh,
I'm gonna read the Ten Commandments.
well, okay, but people don't know what's what. You know, you were joking that Calvin's cool. I mean, okay, we got to know. So then Moses becomes right hand of Pharaoh, right? Is it Moses? Shit. No. Joseph. Joseph is right hand of Pharaoh. Joseph becomes the most powerful man of Pharaoh. Then a few generations happen. Then the Jews are slaves making bricks. Moses is the leader of those Jewish slaves. Takes them out, Exodus, the whole parting of the Red Sea. That, I'm sure, rings a bell, right? Parting of the Red Sea.
Yes.
Okay, the Jews are lost in the wilderness. Some of them start doing orgies, right? They like devolve back to the pagan, polytheistic, whatever craziness. The original, the satanic temples were you have sex with a prostitute and you think you're coming closer to God. I mean, that's pretty evil, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Okay, so with all that mess, that's when Moses is like, I need help, God. And the God, not the supreme being, but Shem the Melchizedek, okay, which it's hard for people to grasp that God is a human
just
being.
read the Ten Commandments.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's the stage for the 10 Commandments. All right, here we go. I am number one. I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not have strange gods before me. 2, thou shalt not take the name of thy Lord thy God in vain. 3, remember to keep holy the Lord's day. 4, honor thy mother and thy father and mother. 5, thou shalt not kill. 6, thou shalt not commit adultery. 7, thou shalt not steal. 8, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. 9, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. 10, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods. So in terms of the alien debate, right, I am saying that number 1 is what we're like, this is where we're on the thin ice. That's it. All right, now you can share.
Okay. So we were talking about the moon landing, and I was bringing up some points about how Neil Armstrong was a very religious person, and he refused to
Swear on a Bible.
Bible. Yes.
He refused to engage with the crowd. They're saying we wanted him to swear on a Bible. Why would you do anything that Antifa so-called?
They're going ABC Digital. Wanted to give you the opportunity to swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon. Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon? Yeah. Yes. If you really walked on the moon, why would you not do that? So why don't you just put the into the record in the argument, then put your hand on the Bible, swear to God you walked on the moon. Mr. Federal, knowing you that.
Oh, wait. I'm not sharing it.
Right.
Oh, yeah. My bad. There we go. Working out the kinks.
Armstrong, they're going ABC Digital. Wanted to give you the opportunity to swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon. Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon? Jim, Mr. Sarko. Yes. If you really walked on the moon, why would you not do that? So why don't you just put the into the record in the argument, then put your hand on the Bible, swear to God you walked on the moon. Mr. Sarko, knowing you, that's probably a big Bible. Really? Well, no, it's a real.
What did he say? What did he say?
$5,000. The meeting, it's not open. Yeah, $5,000 cash. You can give it to charity if you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon. It'd be fine. Why don't you swear to, why not? Why won't you do it? So why don't you put your hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon? Mr. Seibel has made a fool of himself in front of the world. Mr. Seibel, you do not deserve answering.
Okay. That's one example.
Whoa. Raleigh, you go way too fast. Turn on the captions. Let's hear what he said. Give Neil Armstrong. I mean, he's not trying to screw us. He wasn't responsible for NAFTA or killing the czar. I don't think that
ABC Digital wanted to give you the opportunity to swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon. Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon? Jim, Mr. Sarko. Yes. If you really walked on the moon, why would you not do that? So why don't you just put the into the record in the argument, then put your hand on the Bible, swear to God you walked on the moon. Mr. Sarko, knowing you, that's probably a big Bible. Really? Well, no, it's a real Bible. You have the opportunity of $5,000.
Heard his response.
Yeah, $5,000 cash. You can give it to charity if you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon. It'd be fine. Why don't you swear? Why not? Why won't you do it? So why don't you put your hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon? Mr. Seibel has made a fool of himself in front of the world. Mr. Seibel, you do not deserve the answer.
Okay, that's exhibit A.
No, but exhibit B is that because no one ever says this, the response was they don't respect the minister, right? Like in essence, they're saying we're not gonna, no tender. We're not gonna, but okay, fine, continue. You presented it. All right.
And then if you'll notice here, the boot that shows the footprint, the famous footprint of walking on the moon, is different from the bottom of his shoe. A better example is here.
That could be from another Apollo mission.
But no, this is the famous photograph.
You want to grok it or should I grok it? Why don't the shoes match?
And then my third case is, I mean, I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation for all of these things, but like, there's no wind on the moon. Why would it be blowing?
Well, it's not blowing. There's not a video.
Blowing.
No, look at the video. I mean, there's wrinkles all around there. If there's impressions, okay, aside from the footprints, according to, there's no wind, then why isn't the entire surface smooth? Critical thinking?
There's no wind on the moon.
Then why are there, okay, so all those footprints are fake, but then aside from the footprints, why isn't it completely one color?
I don't know. That doesn't have anything to do with wind.
Well, absolutely, Raleigh. Critical thinking. It's not the same windy earth, but there's still some convection currents. Look, Joe Rogan has really,
No, it says an AI overview. No, there is no wind on the moon because it lacks a significant atmosphere, meaning there are no breezes to make flags planted by astronauts flutter or any other weather phenomena associated with the wind. In fact, the wind here on Earth is...
Oh, go back. You skipped over. Go back. Critical thinking. Okay. Expand it. Okay, let's go. Lunar dust swirls. Hello. Scroll. While there's no wind, there are swirls on the lunar surface that looks like they were created by wind, but they are caused by other factors such as dust shifting and meteors. So there's some
But there's no wind. It says here, because it lacks a significant atmosphere, meaning there are no breezes to make...
But who's saying there was wind? I mean, see, this is the critical thinking is gone. Put the video out. The flag just sits there. It might have a little whatever, but I mean, what is the flag starched? How should the flag look? Let's think of it that way. How should the flag look? I mean, the astronaut suits themselves have little wrinkles in them. Should the cloth just be flat? I mean, you can't fold. Like, let critical thinking. Doesn't look windy. That doesn't look windy. There's very low gravity, which is why it has a sort of starchy look.
There it is, blowing.
It's not blowing. I mean, are you saying things are completely still? What is that? If he throws up dust, it's just going to float? I mean... Let's simplify it this way. You said Apollo 10 maybe, right? You're like, okay, Apollo 11, no way. Apollo 10 maybe. So
I didn't say Apollo 10 maybe. I said not Apollo 10 either.
Okay, fine.
I
Then
said
Apollo...
circumnavigated the Earth, not the moon.
Fine. Raleigh, I'm just using Judge Judy critical thinking skills, right? She'll go, okay, you didn't pay rent on March, you didn't pay April, okay, but you paid February or something. So If Apollo 11's out, Apollo's 10, which Apollo is in? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Let's establish what was real and then what's questionable, right? But let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater either.
Okay.
Because no one's questioning the physics. I mean, people are questioning the physics, which is the problem, right? But like you agree that if you shoot the bullet at enough speed, you can go into orbit around the Earth. We agreed there.
That's not traveling to the moon.
Okay, so then the next question is, at what trajectory would you need to shoot the bullet to hit the moon?
A lot more than they had in 1969.
But not a lot more than we have now.
No, but a lot more than they had in 1969.
But see,
and I'll say this, it was shot at a studio in New Mexico.
One of them was, Raleigh, to do promotions or whatever, right? There was a studio, Hollywood, whatever, okay? But even if, I'll take all your arguments and give you all of it. Moon landing fake, all of it fake. But right now, today, I don't give a shit what fucking corporations allow or don't allow. I don't give a shit what fucking elites say or don't say, okay? With enough, by God's grace, well-intentioned people, we could go to Boca Chica Beach, gather enough rocket fuel, and make some calculations, because we're not fucking idiots, and first try to put something in orbit around the Earth as a test, and then second, try to hit the moon. It's not physically impossible, so let's fucking stop thinking that it's physically, it's such a reductionary. Back when I was an atheist, the one definition of progressive, I would say to my buddy Jonah, was life affirming. That's why we love Dumb and Dumber. We were really depressed. I was very depressed. I was a manic depressive. I mean, look at me. I would go into my hole, I would get depressed around finals, and then I'd get, manic again, right? So it was anything that was life affirming.
The same way in college. I hated it.
So I want to affirm that regardless of what may be real or fake, very much so physically, by the laws of physics, we can get to the moon. We can get an object on the moon.
I mean, you say that, it seems to be really, really difficult for us to get back there.
You know why?
Because Elon Musk has spent like $20 billion. Or more than that.
Come on, his driving software sucks. If you can't have ethical self-driving cars, if you can put cars out on the market in public where the self-driving sees a big white truck, semi, and goes, oh, that's clouds, and smashes right into that. I mean, people have died from this, right?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It seems to be very complicated.
And he hasn't talked about the Stirling engine, so fuck him. Like, that's the problem, Raleigh. We got to wipe away all these idols, right? All these idols that the media.
I don't have idol worship. I don't worship idols.
And I'm Elon Musk.
I'm not even saying that. I'm saying he's gone through billions and billions and billions of dollars, and he hasn't even made it outside of low Earth orbit. And why have we never been back to the moon? If we went to it then, why have we never returned?
Because NASA and big government mentality is not singleness of purpose. Tradition 3, singleness of purpose. If the singleness of purpose is just to get to the moon, then the mission becomes much easier. But if it's to run 1,000 different experiments and involve all these multinational corporations in the project, and we got to have a woman on it involved, and we got to have a XYZ group, and this, that minority, and all these other variables. I can pull up a YouTube right now, and if you want me to, or we can do it in another show, right? But the guy breaks down like the different plans to get to the moon. And he had to contact NASA because he's like, yo, the plan you got right now is all screwy. But they were doing it because you know why? You know why? Fuel economy. One of the variables that NASA has put into getting to the moon is they're trying to be green. I mean, isn't that ludicrous as a variable? Like as a benchmark?
It is.
Well, that's the fucking answer, Raleigh. I mean, that's the answer about why the fuck did our power go off 2 years ago and it was hell. So why are we dependent on the grid? Like, fuck the moon, fuck Mars. We can't even keep our lights on Earth.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. This is why I don't think we went to the moon, because we can't even keep our lights on.
But we can't keep our lights on because Hitler banned the fucking Stirling engine. And I'm the only crazy ninja talking about it, not Elon Musk, because he still has a grid vision and cyber connectivity. Fucking Elon, they took his kid away, right? They turned his boy into a girl. Okay, so Elon a little slow to it. Yeah.
Yeah. I just heard he and Donald Trump had a huge falling out.
I mean, whatever. It's such a again, media nonsense. The media is not going to say believe in God. The media is not going to say you can do it if you align yourself with the Lord. Okay, not in a supreme being I worship, but just like the pattern recognition, right? Recognize the pattern, the progressive cycles, truly progressive. That's why I didn't give up on these words, meaning that because there's a truth, there's a kernel of truth, like the core is true. And if we just say, oh, progressives are, libtards or whatever, now you've eliminated the two words that are the biggest source of progress. Like, okay, the Constitution, conservatism, that's your rock. But to uphold it, you need classical liberalism. And to make progress in society, right, progressive, you need to understand progressive cycles, which the Bible is a free way of learning because of the parable of Joseph and the 7 years feast, but followed by the 7 years famine. That's how Joseph became the most powerful man in Egypt. Your people, right? They weren't bowing to the Egyptians' gods, yet Joseph was the god of Egypt. Do you understand when I say Joseph was the god of Egypt?
Not really.
Well, okay, because isn't the whole thing about the monarchy, what we were taught is, oh, they believed that God imbued the king and the king was God on earth.
Yeah, like divine right.
But see, the reason we think divine right is like retarded is because we think that was like a fucking like fascist concept or something. Oh, God and the king was controlling everyone. But if we go, wait a minute, is there a divine work there to survive 3 assassination attempts? Even if you think it was a staged assassination attempt and Trump was in on it, okay, then that guy died, or then maybe that Corey firefighter, did he die? Did he not die? Even if you think all that is staged, if someone said to you, Raleigh, to win the election, we're going to put a sniper over here, and just to make sure it's real, we're going to use live rounds or whatever. Even if they said, oh, they're going to be fake rounds, don't worry. You'd have to be pretty baller to agree to that, wouldn't you? Is that fair to say?
Yes.
So, I mean, you'd have to be fucking, I don't know of anyone else that would, I don't know, would have, the Florida governor's dissent. I mean, we're getting a little bit hypotheticals now, but like whether it was staged or not, right? The idea of Trump and divine right, like divine right just means that the nobles agreed. The whole history of the czars in Russia is because the Russians were being oppressed by the Mongols. The Golden Horde, Genghis Khan.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
So the nobles said, we need a fucking king. I mean, like, just like in Israel, the Israelites were like, we need a king. And the Lord is like, you're not ready for a king. But under Russia, they came together, and the first czar, Nicholas or Peter or Paul, I don't know. Okay, so divine right. So maybe divine right isn't such a regressive, retarded concept.
King Trump.
Well, I mean, King Joseph, was he king? No, he was the right hand of the Pharaoh, but through the progressive visions and revelations and understanding, the argument here is that Joseph had the wisdom to understand the agricultural cycles, right? Somehow he realized Egypt is going to have a 7-year feast followed by a 7-year famine. And that's how the entire Egyptian land agriculture had to give 10% of its production to the Pharaoh, right? And that's how Joseph became so powerful. So, but then they got slaved again, right? Like, Raleigh, I'm trying to tell this to you because just because you become king today doesn't mean that you won't be beheaded tomorrow.
Okay.
So Joseph became most powerful in Egypt, but then the Jews were still oppressed. Then Moses liberated them. And then some Jews were still doing orgies. And then the Lord lit up 30,000 Jews. Do you know he commanded Moses and his men to behead all the traitorous Jews? That's why people want to say, oh, I'm not an Old Testament Christian. I'm a New Testament person. Like, okay. You might have heard about Jesus, right? So on one hand, Jesus says, turn the other cheek. And then on the other hand, Jesus says, I bring the sword.
Okay.
So are aliens good or bad? Oh, no, they're just neutral. Do you see then that it kind of disempowers? Oh, aliens aren't good or bad. They're just neutral. Oh, but you and me fucking suffered through COVID. Our parents, we all went through immense suffering. One of us could have died easily, either getting the shot or not dealing with the repercussions. So then if we die, and I'm like, oh man, Raleigh was a good friend, he died. And I'm like, oh, but there's aliens out there. Oh, I guess they don't give a shit. My friends live and die. Oh, but they've given us tech. It doesn't jive with me. All right, but let's get back to the evidence. You showed the footprints. We haven't grokked why the footprints don't match. We could do that if you want to stop.
That's a reasonable explanation for all of it. It's just you got to take it in its entirety. There's a lot of question marks here.
No. The only question marks are by those that want to take you away from God, who is Satan, right? The best thing I could come up with is there's no God, so then it's government. So everything I did, but I'll play along. Let's continue with the evidence for the YouTube members.
That's it. That's the
two big ones.
Evidence for right now. I didn't have a chance to prepare more, and so that's what I was able to Google really fast.
Okay, well, I want to see why the boots didn't match. Why boots match moon landing? Let's just see if that lame. I'm not even grokking. I'm just Googling. Okay. This is just so the YouTube audience knows out there. However, the moon footprint in the photograph was made by Buzz Aldrin, not Armstrong. Also, the footprint was of a lunar overshoe, something both astronauts wore over their spacesuit boots to provide them with added traction in the dust.
Okay.
Whatever. Elon got those stranded astronauts back. Good for him. But is it about rockets, or maybe balloon travel is better? Maybe the whole rocket thing and trying to catch a rocket, it looks so amazing, but maybe it's a fucking waste of time, right? Just like electric cars are a waste of fucking time. There's a guy in Brazil. I showed you the Stirling engine. There's a guy in Brazil that just made his own steam engine. And you know what he's doing? He loads wood in his steam-powered car. He drives around, and then he makes barbacoa. He's like, oh, the heat from the engine, I can barbecue. He's barbecuing off a car he made that runs off a steam engine.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I got some Nazi marches in Ukraine if you want to watch that, or whatever.
Nazi marches in Ukraine?
Well, because this is, again, Michael was like talking about, Putin and Erdogan's another Putin, but I guess I'm the Putin apologist. I'm the Russia lover. Like, I see clearly that in the 80s and 90s, people loved the USSR. So I don't know when the USSR fell and there was Gorbachev. Like, when did Russia become evil? Just like I'm trying to pin you down to, okay, Apollo 11's fake, Apollo 10's fake. Okay, but going back far enough, you go, well, we did launch satellites around the Earth. Like that, for the record, YouTube audience, we agree on that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so same thing with Russia. When did it become evil,
For me, 1918.
Okay, so then when the USSR fell, that means there was a window for it to not be evil. Yes? So when did that window get lost? I don't think it was ever lost, because what I've heard is that the KGB opened up its files to the CIA. There was like a perfect moment of like NATO could have accepted post USSR Russia into its fold. How about Chechnya? Do you remember where I was pissed at Mark Halperin because he had someone on that's like, oh, and Putin was wrong about Chechnya. Can we start there with Chechnya?
Sure.
All right, here we go. I'm going to share this. Okay, so for the YouTube audience, Georgia, Chechnya, it's like one is in the, I think Chechnya is the province of Georgia. And so the Hillary Clinton playbook, her testimony to Congress is verbatim, Al-Qaeda was a good investment. Because according to Hillary Clinton, Al-Qaeda brought down to the USSR, not its inability to generate credit, which my Pope, Professor Antal Fekete, rest in peace, stated in his lectures that Reagan's economists urged the USSR to issue gold-backed bonds, which the Russians would have given their gold to the government in exchange for bonds, earning interest, and that gold in the hands of the USSR would have then been leveraged to give credit to farmers. Credit, like credit cards. Hillary Clinton, what was that?
Like loans.
Not loans. Credit. A credit card is not a loan. No one's loaning you money. You have a credit line. That is not a loan.
Well, okay. All right. I guess semantics, but all right.
Well, no, yeah, but these are the fine details that no one wants to talk about, maybe because they're nerdy, but it's like there's a discount rate and there's an interest rate. They're similar, they're not the same. Okay, so Russia didn't do that. Russia ignored the Reagan economists. And then Hillary Clinton types, and the fucking Muslim Brotherhood loves it. Because the big bad ragheads brought down the Soviet Union. Fallacy, myth, but it's gone on. So Al-Qaeda was a good investment. Zygmunt Brzezinski, now we're going to watch a clip. We, the State Department, were funding these terrorists in Chechnya. Okay, so now let's listen to the clip and see if we can make sense of it. Let me share it. Okay, window, share. All right, okay. I'll make this full screen. Good. Okay, I'll hit play. I'm gonna turn on captions here. Hold on. One more thing. Turn on my captions. Okay. Quickly with the captions. Oh. Here it is. Volume master. Void. No. No plugins. Come on. Where was my captions? It's like supposed to be a live captions tab.
And I could see the video.
I know. Okay, I'll leave it
Not
alone.
English.
It's fine. It's just the dad in me loves the captions. Okay, here we go.
There are thousands of people who have been displaced as a result of the war in Georgia.
Why is the video not playing?
Because you never actually hit play, it looks like.
No, I hit play. You heard the audio, right?
I did.
Yeah, it's let me refresh it.
Is it on YouTube? It might work better on YouTube.
I clipped it. It's just inline in X. I mean, I have it saved somewhere, but okay. Like, I think the Muslim Brotherhood has a tentacle inside Sean Spicer, you know?
There are thousands.
Okay, here we go.
Thousands of people who have been displaced as a result of the war in Georgia. Tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands, if you believe reports. Among the unfortunate civilians caught in the crossfire in this conflict, a 12-year-old girl from outside San Francisco, Amanda Kokoyeva, was in South Ossetia for a month-and-a-half long visit with her relatives. She was with family members in a cafe, and all of a sudden, bombs were falling outside. A 12-year-old girl. She spent the night in her uncle's basement. She was able to flee to Russia, flee to the north, catch a flight home from Moscow. With us now, Amanda Kokoyeva and her aunt Laura, live with us from our San Francisco bureau. It's great to see you. Welcome home.
Thank you.
I cannot even imagine sitting in a cafe and bombs start falling. I mean, I've been to wars where that happens, but when you were there wasn't really a war happening. It started when you were there. Describe for us what that was like.
It was really scary. I didn't know what was happening. We were just sitting normally, and everybody from outside started running in, and it was just so scary.
Where did you go? What did you do?
We called my uncle on the restaurant house phone because our cell phones weren't working. And so we called him, and he came to pick us up and drove us to his house. We ended up spending the night in the basement.
Were there bombs falling all the while?
I didn't see any. But before I say anything else, I just want to say that I was running from Georgian troops bombing our city, not Russian troops. I want to say thank you to the Russian troops that were helping us out.
Where is your family now, and how are they?
Some of my cousins, aunts, and uncles are in North Ossetia right now, and they are safe. But my grandma and some of my aunts and uncles are still back there, and I don't know. We don't have any contact with them. I don't know if they're alive or anything.
Well, I know your aunt is with you. This I cannot even imagine. I mean, seeing a 12-year-old go through all of this, it must have been horrifying.
Yeah, it was horrifying for all of us. And main thing I wanted to say on the television, I want you to know to whom to blame on this conflict. And that's Mr. Saakashvili, who started this war, and Mr. Saakashvili, who is aggressor, and who in 2 days, my people, Ossetian people, were killed and were under bomb, and 2,000 people were killed in 1 day. And that's what I'm against.
I would never cut you off. Unfortunately, a commercial break will take us there in 4 seconds, whether we like it or not. I'll bring you back after the commercial.
You don't want to hear that.
I'll be right back with you. Stay by. Back with us from San Francisco. This program ends in less than a minute, but I want to give you 30 seconds to complete your thought.
Hang on, rewind that. Just rewind that like a few seconds.
My people, Ossetian people, were killed and were under bomb, and 2,000 people were killed in 1 day. And that's what I'm against.
I would never cut you off. Unfortunately, a commercial break will take us there in 4 seconds, whether we like it or not. I'll bring you back after the commercial.
You don't want to hear that.
I'll be right back with you. Stay by. Back with us from San Francisco. This program ends in less than a minute, but I want to give you 30 seconds to complete your thought. So go ahead.
Yes, my house is burned in South Ossetia where I lived, and we can blame only one person, and Georgian government. I'm not blaming Georgian people. I'm blaming Georgian government, and he has to resign.
Well, that's certainly what the Russians want. If I had more time, you would get it, but I have but 5 seconds. Thank you both. The young girl's a hero in San Francisco, and understandably, there are gray areas in war.
What fucking gray area is there when the U.S. State Department is backing fanatics, Chechen separatists, because, oh, they have a mandate from God, Allah? This is what happened in Crimea, right? Ukraine's just bombing English-speaking parts of Russia, or Russian-speaking parts of Ukraine. Oh, but Putin invaded. I mean, now you're going to have, I got to show the Nazi march, but let's just, before we go on. I mean, Isn't that crazy what we just saw? Maybe people don't really have a sense of the context, but
Yeah, no, I mean, that looked crazy, and they didn't let her speak, and they cut her off, and um, yeah, like she was basically saying that the government there is corrupt, um, and she wants them to go away. They led to their killing. I'm like having to figure out who the Georgian president is.
well, at the time it was Saakashvili, because this is back in like, it's an old clip, so this might be like 2010 or something. But it's the same conflict. Russia has been dealing with this before World War I, Crimean War. This goes back to the Civil War. Why did Russia support Lincoln?
Shakavili, yeah. He was president from 2008 to 2013.
And he allowed Victoria Nuland, right? Hillary Clinton, the State Department, to get in there moderate Syrian rebels that turn out to be Al Qaeda. I mean, the CIA is vetting. Oh, there's fanatics, we're gonna vet them. What are you vetting? That's like vetting the Branch Davidian cult. They're fucking fanatics. Oh no, but the CIA is gonna vet them we're gonna separate the good fanatics from the bad fanatics.
Yeah, I'm looking at like the Georgian Dream Party, the People's Power, which is now the one in charge.
Okay, let's just start here. February 20th, 2014, Ukraine. White House is outraged by images. Oh, did I ever get the way back? I was trying to, no, it got taken down, but okay. Anti-government protesters aim their weapons during clashes. The White House, Office of the Press Secretary. We are outraged by the images of Ukrainian security forces firing automatic weapons on their own people. Huh. That would be kind of outrageous, wouldn't it be? Okay. And so let's just take it to this. Okay. 10 years ago. So 2014, January. This is the pro-Western. These are our people we're seeing marching. Supposedly they're pro-West, right? This is like Antifa taking over Mexico.
I can't hear it.
It's all in foreign language. Let me make the captions bigger.
Turn it off full screen because I can't read the bottom. I mean, it looks like they're just saying, go Ukraine. I don't, what's the point? It says Nazi torchlight procession in center of Kiev with hotel arson. Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
Yeah, here we go. Here's the arson part.
наближаємося до чергового глядюшника, щоб не казати літеру Б на початку. Де досі діє казино, місце розпусти, там, де сотні повій працюють над іноземними клієнтами, над регіоналами. Це Прем'єр Палас, сучасний такий собі публічний дом. У кого є які привіти, мається на увазі фейерверки, бахалки і так далі, тому подібне, можете передати. Через 50 метрів будемо його минати.
By the way, we are not live to America's Talk Show. I don't know if that was.
What's that?
We are not live on America's Talk Show.
No. I went to my I did it on mine. I sent you the link, right?
Yeah, you did. I didn't know. Okay, I just didn't know.
Yeah, I just figured you might get some on yours or whatever on the random ones build up. I don't know. I just went with it.
I do want to test to see if I can host, if I can stream as the host.
Okay,
On
let's finish this
channel.
and then we can do that. You want to?
Yeah. Yeah, they're clearly burning the place.
Well, it's a smoke bomb. Now you're going to see what the casino security says.
Well, whatever it is, it's vandalism.
Зайди в гостиницю, подивись. Подивіться. Ото хто тобі клятий гасив. Нащо ви так робили? Це не заради України, не за наради нації.
It is not for Ukraine and not for the sake of the nation. Okay? So we'll just it's all
Робить.
yeah.
Дивись, що він робить. Та туди дихати неможливо. Приходить сюди.
All right, so the translations suck a little bit, but the clip is the equivalent of like us going to Las Vegas and saying, "Oh, these casinos are the reason for evil," and everything. So, I mean, this is the government, right? This was the predecessor to Zelensky. Okay. Anyways, we got that out there.
Poroshenko or Boroshenko or.
Yeah. I mean, Poroshenko, I think that one. I mean, that's where we need a timeline to really hammer it out. But see, this is what, 2014? Okay, I was out of the union then. In 2010, I wasn't. And in 2010, Raleigh, they were pushing for the overthrow of the Ukrainian government. I mean, my colleagues in the union, who happen to be Jewish, so why would Jewish Marxists in America care about what's going on in Ukraine? Because the George Soros thing is, if you take down the pro-Russian governments, then we will get access to the markets, markets being workers to unionize, quote unquote. Okay, so that's just personal testimony. Anyways, you want to, you're going to call me and then try it from your end?
Yeah, I mean, can't we just stop the stream and then you make me host?
Oh.
Or do
like
we, I guess we should start over and do it that way. Okay.